Today we're talking about the brand new creative class that they've introduced with Modern Warfare 3, which is pretty different than we've had in Modern Warfare 2 and in a lot of previous Call of Duties. They've obviously incorporated some things with being able to equip 5 attachments and how to incorporate a modified pick 10 system with the use of gear. So we're going to be talking about that system as well as how the new progression system works with weapons, because it is slightly different than MW2. I think in some ways a little bit better, in some ways a little bit worse. So we're going to cover both of those aspects, and then also how this stuff integrates with Warzone. So the first thing I want to talk about was this weapon leveling system. How they changed it. At first glance, it looks almost identical to Modern Warfare 2 because a lot of the systems are there from Modern Warfare 2, and this is where they have shared progression in weapons. But how it's different is that you no longer need to use one weapon to get another weapon like we had to do with the Modern Warfare weapons in Modern Warfare 2, where you had to use the Lockman sub to get the Lockman 762, to get the Lockman 556, to get the Lockman whatever, right? You don't have to do that in this version of the game. We can equip and do that, and when we go to the weapon progression, we can see that there's no tree. They've already gone to the simplified route, which is nice. You don't have to use one gun that you probably don't like to get another one. That's not really casual friendly. For myself, when I go for the camo grind, I got to use every gun anyway, so it didn't really negatively impact me, but still kind of annoying, especially if there's like a meta weapon that's gate kept behind 2 other weapons, and it's really whoever plays the most that's going to get those guns faster. So I'm glad they fixed that portion. And what they've done is kind of a solve, because some guns where it'd be like, you got to use this gun, get it to level 7 to get an attachment. They kind of kept that, but they modified it, so now they doubled up on some of the attachments. So for example, this MTZ 556 is fully maxed out. If I go to the marksman version of this and I go to this interceptor and we look at the same thing with this for weapon progression, we can go ahead and zoom forward and we can see that I've already unlocked the MTZ Clinch Pro barrel at 13. You can see it doesn't have the little lock icon on that. And the reason for that is because I've already unlocked it on one of the other MTZ variants in the family tree. Even though it's not visible, they're all MTZ, just like all the Lockman subs, all the M4s, and all those that are set up that way. It's essentially built so that you can unlock this MTZ Clinch barrel from both different methods. So you can actually double stack attachments. Maybe if you didn't want to use this gun, you could still unlock this attachment by using the other version. So one part of this is for somebody that doesn't want to go ahead and use 30 different weapons to get a meta build. Maybe they only need to use about half those amount of weapons to get those same levels. The downside is when you are leveling this specific weapon, you'll go from 12 to 13, unlock nothing, and then you'll go straight to 14, which for me, that just adds levels to the game, which I think is a downside for people that actually level all the games. They've artificially lengthened how long it takes to level a gun. Fortunately, the weapons don't take that long to level. So I thought I'd point that out, that there were some subtle changes there. It's not just a copy and paste. They did look like it does appear, at least they've tried to improve the system, even though they just need to go back to what it was before. Use one gun, you level it up, and they got to figure out how to do it without giving guns 70 levels, because that would be a nightmare. Like Modern Warfare 2019, that was not good, or level 55, like all of Cold War, or Vanguard with 10 it got kind of crazy there. If you've been following Call of Duty for a bit, you kind of understand that. Now let's get into this gear system, which I think is awesome, and it's going to be a great change when they incorporate this stuff into Warzone differently than maybe we expected. When it launches November 10th, we'll be able to get to utilize all the equipment. Obviously, with it being a beta, we get a little bit early access to some of the stuff, but it is pretty limiting. If we look over here, we can only see that there's 4 vests. When I got to play the game back in like August or something like that, there was like something like 8 or 9 different vests. We'll probably have Quick Fix. There's another one that works like Ghost, and there's probably even a few more that I just can't think of off the top of my head, but I think they create a system that kind of meshes the pick 10 that we had back in Black Ops 2 and some of the subsequent Call of Duties, and it still provides us to be able to equip guns fully kitted with 5 attachments, and that even includes overkill. But with the new system, it could be a little confusing for players new and old because it is different. You can see right now I'm running the engineer vest, which doesn't give me a lethal, so it removes that portion of it, but on top of that, it allows me to have a total of 4 perks. So I have essentially Ghost while moving. I have like the eavesdrop, so you can hear footsteps a little bit better. I got Dead Silence, which is the covert sneakers, and then I also have Scavenger, which is kind of important if you're trying to go on a streak. And then when we go over here to the Engineer vest, you can see it says spot enemy equipment, and that's going to be like Engineer. Obviously, that's the name. And then it also gives you field upgrade or recharge faster, which is another perk that I don't typically use in Call of Duty, but it's kind of incorporated in there. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 perks for this specific build. Obviously, I've sacrificed my lethal, which could be important depending on the game mode. Maybe I want to cook a grenade, and then it's giving me 2 tacticals. Whether I want to go with 2 stuns or whatever the case is, I get the opportunity, not stuns, but flashes. Maybe I want the scatter mine. Maybe I want a smoke grenade. It's going to add to more diversity in the creative class, especially for those that maybe want to run overkill. You can actually run this gunner vest. It doesn't say overkill on there, but it says deploy with max ammo, which used to be a perk there kind of before with scavenger, improved reload speed. So this is fast hands. And then duplicate effects do not stack. So if you equip this with the mag holster, which isn't one that I think we have, and gain the effects of mission comlink. So you'll be able to get a specific set of perks. But when you equip this gunner vest, it will give me overkill. So here it is. That's the overkill class. But as a result, I lost my other perk. So you kind of have to pick and choose. And I know some people are upset probably by this because they can't just have everything they want. There's one meta build. For somebody who likes variety in their gameplay, this allows for that, because maybe in one game I want to play a specific way. I can build the class setup that way with double lethals. If I'm gonna be hardcore pushing the objective, you can do that. Maybe put on a trophy system and allow that to come back a little bit quicker. There are different ways you can build these out, and this provides trade-offs. But like I said, with it being a new system, it can be a little bit confusing to get used to. If you want to go ahead and kind of keep it as simple as possible, you can do something like the infantry vest, which increases your attack sprint duration noticeably better, and your attack sprint comes back faster. So if you want to be able to move faster, really don't need a slide cancel or any of that stuff. You can just kind of run, slide, you're good. You're going to move faster than you would by spamming slide cancel. So I'm a fan of this system. And the great part about this is if you're only one of those people that are going to play Warzone, you don't really have to worry about this system. We still keep the simple system that we have where you get your 4 perks and you equip it. They're going to introduce new perks. And on top of that, some of these gear pieces that are probably going to be helpful to gameplay, whether it's fast hands, reload while sprinting, the one where you aim down sight fully while sliding, which is the tack boots, I believe, you're going to have the option to be able to do those things. And it's just going to be built into the game. So what that might mean is everyone's going to spawn in with 6 gear pieces equipped, even some in the same category. And this has pretty much been confirmed. We don't know exactly which perks it's going to be, but that's pretty much confirmed. And then when you transition and grab your loadout, you're going to get these perks that stack on top of that. So the game should feel a little bit smoother and crisper, the kind of way that you feel when you actually do equip some of these mobility perks. So it's kind of like a 2 for when it comes to Warzone, and that's how that movement and gameplay will be dynamically different than Warzone 2 is right now, on top of all the mobility changes they did with mantling, sliding, shooting while mantling, shooting while sliding, like all these other things that make the game feel less restrictive. So I know it's simple, but how are you guys liking this? Obviously, it's super limited at the moment with only 4 vests. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we had 7 to 9 vests in the build we played with, and a lot of them are going to be duplicate, where maybe they're going to be a better version of the perk that we have here. Like I said, there was a stealth vest that worked like Ghost, and it was 100% of the time. You didn't have to be moving the same way that this one here lists that you have to be moving. While moving, blocks detection by UAV, radar sources, and heartbeat sensor. So that kind of includes that there. Obviously, some of these, if you read into them, they explain that we will have a heartbeat sensor and that will be in the field upgrade selection. So keep that in mind. That pretty much covers both of those. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe with notifications on. If you want to find your way back, see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.